Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Coloring Passports. Today we are in the Everglades book. Excuse my chair, I got the rolly chair wiggles today. Today we're in the Everglades book and we are doing the Roseate Spoonbill. Let's get right into this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in a perfect world I would have already swatched all of these colors, but I have not. Alas, I have not. So I know that I'm going to need my readers so I can see this magnified. So much better. Okay, we're going to come in here with the baby pink number 19. Now, y'all, we sell these on the website. I will tell you that we've gotten in 3 different shipments. And even though they're from the exact same manufacturer, some of the numbers are different. Don't panic. Just find the lightest pink and start laying in some color. We gotta pink this baby completely out. I mean, this whole bird is very, very pink. So let's take some time here. And I notice that I'm not coloring with the tip of my brush. I'm coloring with the side of my brush. Also notice, see this highlight up here in the photo? I don't want to make that crazy over here, so I am barely gonna lay some color in right here. And I'm not even remotely thinking about the background at this point because that will just have to wait. I don't have time for that right now. Do not have time for that. As I'm coming down here and I want to make sure that I don't color outside of the lines, I just use my fingernail. So I hit that pencil right up against the butt of my finger, and therefore the paint, the colored pencil stays right where it's supposed to be. Now I'm okay if a little bit of it gets in there, it's not a big deal. Now on this bird right here, I see that that's a little bit more of a salmon color, so I'm gonna grab dark red skin is what this one's called. You had one job and you named it that. Okay, so let's get into, because I would have called this apricot. It's very apricot-y. Oh, that's very pretty, y'all. That's very, 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 very pretty. I'm gonna come in down here and darken this up just a touch. This right here I think is super dark. I'm also gonna pull this color down here on his legs just a bit. Now this spoonbill is standing in water. We're gonna paint that water later because that's gonna possibly be a headache. Maybe not, I don't know. What I know is I'd like to get you through this painting in 2 hours or less, and so let's do this. I'm gonna use the same, because if I look up here, the same apricot color is right here on his armpit. This is like his armpit area right here. And right in through here, okay? Little very light on his legs. We're gonna add some more pink there. Now I have a habit of when I use a color and I know I might need to come back to it, I'll just put it out here. That way I don't have to guess as to which color I used. I already know because it's right there. It's right there. It's just where I need it. Okay, this is still the light pink. We're gonna put a little bit of that light pink on his bill. We're just gonna cover the whole bill with it. It's cool. It's all good. It's not a big deal. We're going to come over here and barely, and I mean barely, cover that area. And we know that we've got pink feathers here, pink feathers here. And we know that we're seeing feathers underneath where his feathers here have been spread out. That's what we're seeing. And now we know that we are going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and cover some of these up too. Just all of these here. Just very lightly. Very, very lightly. I don't even want to see any marks. Alright. So, we're going to put that one right there. Going to grab this pink. This is baby pink. We'll see if it's really baby pink. Oh yeah, it's pretty baby. I'm going to come in here and I notice that I am not covering the entire feather. I'm coming in here, I'm starting to darken where that shadow is going to be, and that's all I'm doing. darkening up where that feather is gonna cast a shadow. So all of these have a shadow cast. All of them do. And as they come up the bird, that color changes. But for right now, we're going to do the same thing on all of them. And then we'll come in with the color over the top and we'll darken it up. It's not a big deal. Don't panic. You've got this. It's not a problem. I'm going to come in and just kind of start outlining some of these interior feathers here. And forgive me that I didn't study and figure out exactly what each section of feathers is called, because I'm certain that they all have a specific name. I'll have to look that up later. That is so pretty though. Wow. So this color down here is more baby pink. This color up here is really more watermelon. So study your photographs. Study your photographs very well. This is also more baby pink over here. I'm going to come in and just kind of lay this in. And this group of feathers is a lot more pronounced. And we're going to have to grab a different color all the way around to get these to do what we want them to do. So this area right here is super dark. We're going to max out what super dark is pretty quick with these. So let's go ahead and just lay in some colors and then prepare to switch it up with some of the other watermelon colors. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Sometimes I put off the more intricate pages in the book so that I have an opportunity to warm up. Because even though I paint all the time, you guys, I still have to warm up. If I go days without creating something, I struggle getting back into it. It's true. I don't know why, but it happens. It does definitely happen. This feather right here is this one right here. So this one is dark right here, and then it has more of that blue hue. This one has a little bit here, and it comes down like this. And then this one stays more like that. Just kind of gets lost in all of the chaos there of it. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so that one's, we're done with that one. Now I see this one's called Peach. Okay, so Peach is gonna go up here. Y'all, I know it's not Peach. It's the farthest thing from Peach. Again, whoever named these had one job. But we're just gonna go with it because that's what color it's called. It's called Peach. It's number 2. It's called Peach. We're gonna come up here and we're just gonna, I don't want you to push hard. I don't want you to max out how many layers that it will receive. So we're just gonna come up here as it comes up underneath this feather here. And you guys, this can be as detailed or as impressionistic as we want. I'm going to try to steer us in an impressionistic manner so that we don't burn ourselves out on this bird, because I think there's 5 birds in this book alone. And I'm really interested in making more of the books on the birds, because the birds in the Everglades are just spectacular. It's unreal. I didn't think I would grow up to be a bird watcher when I was younger. I was like, why are they just looking at birds? Because they're awesome. That's why. Because birds are beautiful. And they're hard to photograph. They don't sit still. It's like trying to photograph a butterfly. Have you ever tried to take a picture of a butterfly? It's dang near impossible. Same peach color. We're going to start getting up in here in between these here. We'll get up in here where we're gonna have some shadow up here. I'm just kind of poking around. I'm just kind of poking around all of these things. I know that this right here, I know that this is darker right here. I know that this is darker right here. I know that this feather has a super dark shadow right there. There's a little bit more of a shadow there. I know that, where's his head? So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this is a darker shadow. And then this is a darker shadow. Yeah, it's okay. A little bit of a darker shadow up underneath this. A little bit of a darker shadow. I'm just gonna kind of outline, do a choppy outline here, because that is definitely okay. So I'm gonna put this one down. Peach is going down for a minute. Let's see. Roseate. This one is actually called Roseate. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's see if it's true. Is it really Roseate? Ooh. Okay, this color is definitely the color of these feathers right here. And listen, if your pencil gets dull, sharpen it. It's much easier to do this when your pencil's sharp. We don't want to color the whole feather this color, okay? We're leaving some of that highlight color from that baby pink. In fact, I'm gonna go grab that pink one more time right here. Light pink. We're gonna come in and we're gonna color that in, light pink. So that it's got a highlight on it. It's light pink. And then maybe, just maybe, I'll finish it off and I'll show you what it looks like when you use some paint markers. So there's that. Okay, so we've got all of those colors are now sitting still. The Roseate is definitely, that Roseate is definitely that color. So that Roseate also needs to be in this part of his wing right here, or her wing. I'm not sure which. I don't know. I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna grab red. I'm gonna come in here and go right over the top of some of this with straight up red. There we go. Oh my goodness, that's happening. Yep, this is happening. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay. Okay, that's not terrible. Okay. Gonna come up here with the red, put it on this top one here. Gonna come over here with the red, come in down here and put it in right there. My goodness. Okay, so the red's working. What color is this? grape purple. We're going to use this right here. We're going to come in with the grape purple and we're going to start putting in this dark color right here because we'll add to it in a minute, but it's not really black and it's not really brown. And I want it to look nice in the picture, so we're going to start with the grape purple first. So it's going to look a little silly for a minute, but trust me, it'll get better. And then we've got a little bit on this one. Got a little bit of it right there. Got a little bit of it on the ends of these, and see, that's going to darken that up real nicely. I'm going to come in here with that grape. Let's just come in with the grape right here too. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's a good color. Look at that. See, that works. Oh, you know what? I also see the grape here. Down here in his underbelly, right over the top of all of that. See, that's super dark right there. Well, that's not dark with black. We don't use black to shadow unless we absolutely have to. Most of the time, a different color works better. Seems to be some, like the ends of his feathers seem to be right there. A little bit darker on that one. Gonna go a little bit darker up here. Right in there, right in that crevasse. And I didn't draw any feathers in this illustration of this part, so I'm just gonna improvise. This is gonna be a little bit darker right in here. With that grape, and this is gonna be a little bit darker right in here. With that grape, but it's really darker back here where it touches. This is gonna be a little bit darker right there. A little bit darker there, there. See, I'm not coloring the entirety of the thing, just coloring some of it. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Who knows? Okay, we're going to put the grape down for a minute now. It's feeling like some of this is kind of bubblegummy pink, which would maybe be the lavender. Let's sharpen. Okay. Wow, that's pretty. Okay, well that's kind of working. So that one has that shape, but I also want to go ahead and put the pink over the top of it again. Really? Okay, so here's what I've learned. You really can't cover the things that need to read like white. You cannot cover it with another color because this white doesn't blend out like the other whites that I'm used to. Okay? See how I'm kind of just going over the whole thing? Now see how that feather's starting to kind of come to life? So keep in mind that anywhere that we really want this to read like there's light on it, we are going to have to make adjustments for that. Okay, there should be some sort of a purpley, periwinkle-y color in your set. Let's try the, this is funny. This one's called Pale Green Lotus. Okay, this is not green, y'all. Obviously, it's not green at all. Teeny tiny little baby circles here. Okay, then we're going to come down here on this edge, do the exact same thing. On this one, this bottom edge of this wing definitely has that purple tone to it, and it just kind of goes up like so. I mean, it just kind of comes across the whole thing like that. This one, same thing, has that purple tone to it. This one right here, same thing. This one's got a little more purple, and it's got a little bit of a dark spot right there. This one's got some dark spots in here. We're gonna push a little bit harder. This one obviously has it right there. Look at that. She's coming to life. She's coming to life. I'm gonna come over here and add some purple. We'll come back in with paint pens. And if y'all don't have a paint pen in class, you can get a paint pen. I try very hard to use the same materials that you're using, but sometimes I just want to be wild. So I feel like that purple is up here on his face a bit too. I also feel like the only place that I'm going to see that purple is over here. So where's the light pink? Here's the light pink. Perfect. I feel like... Oh yeah, that's definitely a color in this. Okay, this is the red skin. Now, I am trying purposely to make some marks here with this. And so I see up in here, it just looks like little tiny half circles where his breast feathers are real fluffy. You know, they just grow differently. And so I'm going to add this in back here. Oh, look at that. Oh my Lord. See how perfect that is? The cat is attacking my foot underneath the table, y'all. I'm here to tell you. He is ornery. Now, I'm going to come in with this right now and just add some of this right here on top, because that has to have the red in there as well. It's just not the right color yet. Not quite the right color. I don't know if this is going to turn out good or if it's going to be poop, but I am really going to work to make sure that this looks like this is a good illustration. Would love to use this as a sticker eventually. Okay, so that one's down. Now, I feel like up got to add some of this vermilion in here. Woo! That might be it. And then we'll add some pink and change the color again, just a touch. So part of the problem that we run into is that I have drawn all these things, and then when I come in to actually do the piece, I am like, I don't remember why I drew that. Did I really want that to read like that, or did I have something else in mind? So color softly first. Ow! That's the cat biting my feet. He can't help himself. He attacks he will attack my feet whether they are moving or not. And it's super hot today, so I'm letting him stay in the studio. Okay, I'm gonna come up here and hit this. I also feel like low-key lightly this is kind of that color as well. Sort of fades into the other one. Like this is more the red, this is more the bubblegum pink, this is more the pinks and purples. Where are we at? That's not terrible. Okay. Let's see, light pink. So I kind of want so I'm seeing that oh my gosh, this is hard. Okay, that should be more purple though. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting this, and you don't have to do it like this. If you can't use both of your hands at the same time, that's cool. You can pick these up and put them down. But I'm just trying to blend a little bit of this vermilion with the light pink, so we get that vibrant color, but it just spreads to the edge a little bit, and I'd rather do it without having to pick up my paintbrush, that's all. If I can do it without, I'm happier. Okay, so this back here is a lot darker. He's gonna bite me again. Quit! Buddy. He literally is putting his mouth and his teeth on my ankle right now. He's such a rotten child. He's a rotten kitty. He's rotten. See, that softens that just enough that it's tolerable. The other thing I find too is that if I color with my left hand, I have to concentrate harder, and so I'm less likely to overwork the area if I do it with my left hand. I'm going to come down here and I want to start adding some of the pink right over the top of that, and that pink needs to be in between those feathers. And I'll come in and I will highlight those feathers. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. And again, I do this with both colors because sometimes you can't get the right angle unless you're using the other color. So I've got some pink underneath here, pretty strong pink underneath here. See, I have a little more hard time controlling it than I do when I'm trying to color inside the line. Sometimes it's a little bit more challenging because I don't have to use my left hand a lot when I'm working, but sometimes it's necessary. Okay, that's where we are so far. Not terrible. Let's put these colors down for a minute, and let's put some of the other colors in this bird. Like, I know for a fact that this is in here. This is Aurora Anticus, number 44. I'm going to come up here on his face a little bit, right into that purple, right over the top of that purple. He's got a little bit up here on his face, just a touch on his bill. I mean, really, it's not a lot. Just enough to kind of set that bill apart. So then we're going to come in and we're just going to kind of randomly add some yellow. I see it in the photograph, so I know it's there. I know it's there. Also going to add some yellow in his legs because we're going to come back in with some oranges and some reds. I'm going to put that yellow down. I'm going to grab this orange, and I think I'm going to use these two here. Okay, so I've got the apricot yellow and I've got the blood orange. Now, this blood orange is on the back side of his legs, and I'm not putting a ton of it in there, but then I'm going to come right over the top of that with the apricot. and kind of blend that out. Then I'm going to put some of that in the shadow of the water there. Do this. Ooh, broke it. Pushing a little too hard. Okay, so now we've got this, and we're just kind of touching it. And I'm going to add some other colors to his legs too. So we got that. I'm going to grab the coffee, and I'm going to touch with the coffee and just touch it with the orange vermilion as well. That vermilion's a beautiful color. No, that's blood orange, sorry. We've already used the vermilion, haven't we? See, I'm not particularly using I'm not coloring an entire area, but look how real that looks now. So I come in with the coffee and I just sort of blend it out with the vermilion. Again, you don't have to use both pencils at the same time like I am. You're more than welcome to use your pencil the way you're comfortable with, and then come in over the top of it with another pencil and do it that way. Don't stress out. This is a stress-free zone, okay? Don't stress out. I'm going to use some of this coffee up here. And I'm going to use some of this apricot. I'm going to put that blood orange right there. I'm going to use, I'm going to use the apricot in his leg right here. I'm going to really hammer home that his leg is done that way. Okay. Now, do I have this apricot up here? Do I see it? It's a bit yellowy, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna just make teeny tiny little baby circles right there. Okay, then what are we gonna do? Now what? Ooh, this is a beautiful color. Okay, so we're gonna come in here with this dark complexion, and we're gonna, oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Now we also have to put some blue on this bill, y'all. I mean, that's definitely gotta happen. So this line in here is super dark. Let's grab that purple and let's skim in here and let's just get her in there. Let's also grab the blood orange and let's go ahead and make that eyeball. Woo! Woo-wee. That eyeball is in your face. That's in your face. Okay now. Wow. So now the problem is that we really need a gray. And this set of pencils isn't the greatest with the grays. So I'm going to go over this with white first. And I'm going to smear it all around. Now I'm going to come in with the gray. I'm just going to, oh yeah, that works better. Okay, that's not terrible. So gray, and I need like a sky blue. Is this my sky blue? Light sea blue. Where's my light sky blue? I need sky blue. Light sky blue, here we go. Okay. Same thing that we always do. We're going to come in here, we're going to add that sky blue to just the tip of that bill. I'm going to go back up the bill here, and I'm going to take just a little bit of that gray and set it down. Then I'm going to come up here and round his eyeball here. I'm going to tell you that I see that sky blue in the photograph. And I see some of that yellow in the photograph. We're just going to start coming in here with some of this color. And you know, he's got a lot of really deep lines because his feathers are thick there. And he's in the water, he's wet, so it's separated. It bunches up, and so you're gonna see those deep lines. So we are gonna put those lines in there, and I'm telling you that the water is reflecting, even though the top part of him is white. That water down here is reflecting up on his body, so he's gonna have like this blue sheen on the bottom part of his neck, which is also why we've got some blue sheen here in these bottom feathers, because they're super close to the water, and therefore they're collecting some flyback too. Reflective light. Reflective light was one of the hardest things for me to understand when I was learning how to paint. It was awful. It was awful. It was so bad. Okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in some of those shadows, but I'm going to go right back over it with the blue because yes, it is dark, but that gray is not really the right color. So we're also going to get some pen out and work this because it's just not doing 100% what I would like for it to do. We're going to use some of this blue and some of this gray up over here, just a touch. So kind of going to just color very softly this gray so that it still reads kind of like white. Add a little bit of just some random blues in here. Right in here we're a lot darker. There's like a, you know, he's really wet right there because he's had his face in the water, y'all. So he gets wet. One of the hardest, I think painting the lighter pastel-y colors is always the more difficult thing to do with regards to all of these. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to fill this all in now with one layer of gray. And it's going to look crappy for a minute, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do to solve the problem. So we've got some lines back here and these feathers that need to be identified. I'm going to paint on both of these here just to kind of get some of this outlined. There we go. There's another little area of blue here. And this is like this. This is here. There's that. This is even darker still. See how we're just building and building and building? And it might not be correct, but it's getting close, okay? It's getting closer. It's just getting closer. I'm going to set those two colors down for just a minute. And we're going to go back to the watermelon colors that we used. That's not really what I wanted. I think I wanted red up in there. That's okay. It's okay. What color is that on the ground, on the water? So let's come here and let's take that sky blue and let's put some of it this way and some of it on this where it comes up right here. That's super dark. You can see that watermark there and there. So, and then this is supposed to be peachy. This is more blue. That's all peachy. Like it's totally reflective of, oh yeah, that's the color right there. So that's, wow. There's that. And then I suppose there's some of this. Yep, and then there's also some of this, and it's got to be lighter than that still. Ooh, that wasn't the right color, but it's okay. We'll make do. We'll make do. So there's that and that and that and that. And then we've got to make that a green of some sort. We've got to come in here. I'm gonna add some more color up here around his face. Yeah. More color on his bill. I'm gonna add some more of this color on his bill. And on his face. Some more of this color on his face. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to come in with the some more of the gray. There's a darker gray in there too. I'm going to break it out in just a second. Yeah. Oh my goodness sakes. It's not terrible, y'all. I think it's pretty nice. I think it's nice. I'm gonna grab for my Prismacolor a hot pink and just see if, ooh, yep. My goodness. Wow, okay. There's just no doubt that those are just superior. This is the Process Red. That's fun, now isn't it? That's a lot of fun, right? Those are creamy and delicious. Wow. Okay. I'm not going to torture you with the Prismacolor colored pencils. I will figure it out later with that. Let's just see if adding a little bit of fluorescent to it pops those feathers even more. Ooh, wait, look at that. Okay, don't hate me, don't hate me. I just had to see for myself. So when you get a set of 72 colored pencils, you're limited by the color choices. You're limited. And sometimes that makes finishing a project a little more challenging. I'm just cleaning up some lines here. A little bit of bubblegum pink. Woo-wee, look at that. Look at that bird. Okay. 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 Go back in with one of your reds and just start darkening up just the edge. You don't want to paint the whole thing dark. You see how that's starting to set those down? That's what we're looking for. I'm going to come in here, right here. I'm darkening this up too, just a touch. I think there's a feather pattern right there that I should be aware of. Yep. Just going to darken up the very edge of that feather up there. That feather needs to have more red orange in it than the mulberry color, so let's get that in there. Ooh-wee. All right. Sorry, I got all quiet. I went dark there for a minute. I got in the zone and forgot where I was. It happens. It happens when the painting's going really well. It happens. It was not on my radar to paint a Roseate Spoonbill today, but here we are. And this is the first time I've ever painted one, and I think it's going to be spectacular. Come up here and add a little bit of light to these up here because I feel like they got a little out of control. Got a little bit away from me. Okay. Let's I know I've got a second gray color here in the archive. This one's just gray. So let's come in and let's simply go over in the gray those lines here where the feathers are clumping together because they're wet. I'm just going to push down a little bit harder on all of those things, and I'm going to come in with just teeny tiny little baby circles here on the edge of this sweet Roseate Spoonbill's neck, and I'm just going to add just a touch. It's very hard to go from these back to, from the Prismacolors back to these, those Prismacolors. I'm telling you, if you can swing the set of Prismacolors, you will not be unhappy with that decision. Okay, so here we are. Here we are. Let's make the circles around his eyes a little more prevalent. It's really hard to see his eyes. I'm going to go in with the black and use just a little bit of black to kind of go around his eyes a little bit, and that's that. I've darkened up his pupil just a touch. I don't even think I used black. Well, yep, it was black. So now I'm going to grab a Posca pen. I also have a Jelly Roll pen. Let's see if these are going to work. Will these work? The Jelly Roll is just not one to work. Let me get a Uniball. See if the Uniball will write on this. Will the Uniball write on this? Apparently it will not. Well, great. What is the point of having those if they won't write on the things you need them to write on? Here we go. This is a super pointy, super duper pointy Posca pen. So I put a little tiny dot in there. I'm gonna add some highlights around here. So you gotta put those dark colors in order to get the highlights to do their job, which is make everything look like it's actually highlighted. We're gonna come in here and go right over the top of some of these feathers. Yeah. Gonna come in here and make these feathers look even more dense. Oh no! Okay, so I can fix that. Haha! See? Oh, that was almost a disaster, wasn't it? Where is my paper towel? Where's my paper towels? Over here. Okay. Woo! That was crazy. That was a save though. See? No big deal. No big deal. I really want this to be highlighted a little bit more up here. Oh wow, that's too much. Why are we doing that? Why are we just spitting it out like that? That's crazy. It's also not opaque enough for me. I want it to be more opaque. Let's get up here and some of these. See, it's not showing up because the background's not dark enough. In order to have light, you have to have dark. I'm just going to come in and make some hash marks here. On these feathers, this one starts right here with the lightness. This one starts right here. Oh, look how pretty that is. I'm just doing a little, y'all. I'm not doing a ton. I'm just doing a little. So right in here, this is highlighted. This is definitely a highlight. This is definitely a highlight in here. Okay, that's not terrible. Let's get the highlight right here on the back side of this. The highlight right here on this one, on the back side. And, you know, I mean, like, these are literally the spines of the feathers are highlighted here. Oh, these are really highlighted, aren't they? We're just going to make little cross hatches here on these. Yep, highlighted. Yep, definitely highlighted. Okay, that's highlighted. Now I need to add some highlights in here because I can see those feathers. I'm going to touch that because I don't want it to be all up in my grill white. I just want it to be kind of white. You know what I'm saying? Kind of white. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add some little floofs of feathers here and there. I'm going to touch that. Gonna add some floofs of feathers back here. Gonna touch that. Wow, this is fun. Gonna add some floofs of feathers back here on the underside and back here on this side. Okay. Got some highlight right here, some highlight here, 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 here. Definitely right here on top of his head. I mean, right, this Roseate Spoonbill is just bright white right here. And if I can't get the marker to work for me, oh, look at that. Just, I don't know if you can see it or not, because, but because we put some of the grays down, the white is really showing up now. It just is really, really pretty. Wow, that bird is beautiful. Okay, we know we've got highlights in here. We're just gonna add some chicken scratches in here for some highlights because we don't need the whole thing to be photorealistic. Again, I sometimes just go overboard when I really should just be not doing that. Okay, so in order for that to really stand out, we need to give it a background, I suppose. Now, the water down here is a green. I'm gonna grab the grass green. I don't think this is the right color. Ooh, it's pretty close. I'm gonna go in right underneath that water. We're gonna start laying that in. Right here as well. Because if we get it done really, really well, oh my gosh. See, part of me really wants to paint it realistically and part of me wants to make this whole background just crazy. I'm going to tell you to do what you want with this. I know that right up against that, that's a super dark green on that line. And I know that right up against that, is super dark green right there. And that sky blue is reflecting in all of those little things here. So let's get in here with the sky blue. Go right over the top of that green. And see, some of it is going to be lighter. And some of it will work with the, we'll come back in with the pen and we'll make it a little bit better. So we'll do this first. Yeah, my ears are ringing. Okay. Marker. So in between where I'm drawing these lines, I need to go in and make it even darker with the pencil. Is what I think. Water is hard to paint sometimes because you want to, I have a tendency to be way too blendy with it. And you're just, it's not blendy, it's just not. That's not dark enough. We need to go darker. Let's grab this olive green. There we go. That's dark enough. See how we left some of that? And do the same thing up here. Keep reminding yourself that this is practice. That's what we're doing. This is for practice. We're not trying to create a sellable masterpiece here. This is just for practice. This is just so you can say you painted a roseate spoonbill. Spit some facts about it. Impress the people around you that you know what you're talking about. What you know in your mind is something no one can ever take away from you. Look how cool this bird's turning out. I mean, for real. He's cool. Okay, so let's come up here and add some splashies. Let's add some splashies here because he's moving through that water right there. So he is creating a little splashy splash. Little splashy splasharoo. Don't be alarmed if you're. Hey, I forgot to tell you. Make sure you don't color over your QR code because if you do, it might not scan again. Just saying. I mean, color over it if you want to color over it, whatever. But it might not scan again. So, okay, let's talk about the background. What are we gonna do in the background? This is the worst part for me. Every single time, like literally every single time. I think this could be a little darker in here. Wrong color. This could be a little darker right there. And I think that blue could probably be a little darker too. Let's come in there with some of that. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, that's good. Look at that. Okay, this might turn out to be really nice water. Maybe we painted some really nice water there. Okay, so if I were going to paint this background, what would I do? You know what I would do? I'd reach for my as usual, I'd reach for something obnoxious and try to make it fun. Want it to be fun. Fun, fun, fun. Want it to be loads of fun. So maybe on this one, we just have it be splashes of color, huh? I don't want to paint the background dark green though. That's the whole thing. I don't want to paint it dark green. Pink. Green is the natural background color. Okay, after much consideration, I feel like I'm going to do a watercolor style background maybe that fades into this here. So I've got I'm using dark teal, which is number 27. On its side, I've got it sharpened as much as I can, and I am laying in kind of like smoke on the water. I don't necessarily want to paint everything here. And I'm going outside of the lines because I want to be able to outline the bird, and so I need to be able to have some semblance of I need to have a dark if I'm going to outline the bird in white, which I think I'm going to. So I'm also doing this because I might want to just go in and lay in watercolor, but I want to make sure that I have also might go in and paint the whole thing black, but look how nice that is. That's kind of nice. It's not as crazy as I'd like for it to be. Gonna go a little darker here, and I'm gonna go a little darker here. And I'm gonna do it in different directions because I want it to be sketch paddy. I want it to be painterly, journally. I want to have that feeling of deliberately just blocking in some color. Now I'm taking the green right over the top of that so that I am creating another dimension of color. Because pink and green are complementary colors. So that's one reason. Try to blend this into the water as much as possible. You know, I'm going to take this sky blue and come in here over it with the sky blue and see if that helps draw the viewer in. I don't really know if it's going to. Part of me thinks I should have just painted the whole background black and been done with it, but the other part of me thinks this is a good idea and let's stick it out until the end, and you don't know until you try, and that's why these are for practice. So half the time I hate my backgrounds. I'm still trying to learn how to manipulate them in a way that satisfies my need for color, but also is very painterly and deliberate feeling. Instead of just a, oh, well, that experiment went wrong. kind of like it. I also feel like I kind of want to pull some pinks out into this maybe. Ooh, that's being really bold there. I don't know if those pinks are working. I don't really like them. Maybe some other greens. Oh yeah, maybe that does it for me. Okay, that's not, I don't hate it. I gotta tell you, green is never my favorite color. I like turquoise. So let's try the turquoise color here. Let's see if putting some turquoise in here doesn't, you know, do the trick for some of this. Because it just might do it. Also, let's put some turquoise in the bird. Look at that. Well, what do you know? I don't think I hate it. I think I kind of like it. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if that's a good idea or if it's a terrible idea. I'm just, I don't know. I feel like I want a darker blue. Do I have a darker blue? Tell it on. Well, that's a darker green. That's really not the color I was going for. It's just not it. This is emerald? No, moss green. Okay. Oh, that's a really pretty color of green. That's very nice. Anybody else's hand hurt? My hand is killing me now, y'all. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. Look how nice that is. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Let's come up here with some lighter greens. I don't hate it at all. Ooh, I like it. Oh my gosh, maybe that's it. Maybe we have figured something out. And then like some of these up here. So maybe we take some of this green down here, like so. Oh my goodness. Ah, I love that. Look what we did. And y'all, when we started, I had no idea where we were going with this. I didn't know what colors we were going to use in the background. I didn't have a clue as to what I was doing 100% at all. And look at where we are. Look where we are. This is beautiful. Now let's darken that up a little bit. I'm going to darken this up a little bit down here. Okay. The bird's not perfect, but that's okay. It's really and truly okay that the bird's not perfect. So the other thing I feel like I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to paint the fun fact. So I've got my ochre out, and I feel like I want this to feel like an old-fashioned banner. So we're going to come in here and we're going to use the ochre to color the banner. We're going to leave all of that green that we accidentally colored with on there. And come over here. We're going to darken this right here. I'm going to darken this area right here. Darken this right here. Add a little dark on the shadow there. There we go. So we're just going to come in and make this look like an old-fashioned banner. Now we're going to come in. Where's that purple that we had out earlier? Where's that grape color? Here it is. No, that's gray. Where's the... Here it is. Okay, so purple and yellow are complementary colors. So we're going to use the purple to help outline things in here that need to be outlined, and then we'll use a brighter yellow this is super dark right here. Over that, just the top part here, and kind of go over that and over that, and then we'll use the white to create the highlights. Where's my white pen? Here it is. Okay, so here we go. Let's just create some highlights here, highlight there, highlight there. Yep, look at that. Okay, there we go. Highlight over here. Highlight this area. Okay, now let's outline the spoonbill here and see if that's something that we're excited about, or if that is something we should have just left alone. Feeling like I like it highlighted, outlined though. I don't know. I just like the pop art effect of all of these. And so I'm going to probably outline it with like a fluorescent yellow too. That's the other thing. I didn't add any fluorescent pink to this. I'm obsessed with the fluorescent colors lately. So I can't get enough of them. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. I like this Posca nib because I have a little more control. I have some other paint markers, acrylic paints, that I'm probably going to use over the top of this. I don't know how long this video has taken, but I try not to rush through them, so some of them are longer than others. But just because I'm teaching you doesn't mean that I don't want you to learn. And just know, I don't practice these before we do the tutorial. I feel like if I practiced it, then you would think that everything just, you know, comes so easily to me and that I never have to work anything out. I have to work problems out in every single painting that I do. Every painting, I have to work a problem out. And so I feel like I would rather you know the truth about that than to feel like you're not getting it because I can just zip right through, or feel like because I've been doing it for a long time, I can zip right through, and that's not the case. I am experimenting here just like you are. And so I have no idea how these are going to turn out. And every single painting that you do has an ugly stage. Every one of them. You just got to keep working through it to get through the ugly. Let's make it a little more real. Add some splashies in there. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. Okay, now, do I want to risk messing it up by adding... Y'all should see this studio. It is seriously a hot mess. I feel like I want to at least give it a go. Oh, well, I guess that answers the question. Well, alrighty then. Let's see. I guess. Or I guess the other one's about empty is why. You know, I don't really see the benefit of that. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do on the second layer. kind of like it. What do we think? I don't know. I think that's the wrong color. For now, I'm going to finish it like this, but I reserve the right to come back and choose a different color later. Because I feel like it's not a bold enough color choice. I feel like I could have picked a bolder color choice for this. Definitely could have picked a bolder color choice. Like maybe a pink. So it's okay though. These Temu acrylic markers are good, but their precision value when placed up against Posca, they're pretty lackluster when placed up against a Posca. I wish Posca had more colors. I wish they had 600 colors. Or I wish you could get a set of Poscas like you can get a set of Oh-Hoo-Hoos, you know? Somebody do something about that, because that would be pretty spectacular. Because these are not nearly as good. I do like the brush nibs, but man, they are a bit flimsy, and you really can't control your ink flow on these because there's no way for you to control the ink flow. They don't give you that option. That's kind of cool. Yee, look at that. Now, if you want to go around yours with your colored pencils, you can do it, and you could do a darker line. You could outline it by simply go around it once and then go around it again and again, pushing harder until you get your colored pencils to do what you want them to do. So I just like the idea of the outline on all of these. I just really enjoy the outline. I'm going to add some dots in the background too. Maybe not. Maybe just some dots in here. Okay. You see how that green on there is going to read like water? I don't really like that. We're going to get rid of that. That's the other thing, is that you can just scratch that right off. See that? Yeah. Scratching it off. Don't like it. Scratching it off. Okay, well, I thought I wanted some more stuff in here, and you know, turns out that was a lie I told myself. So here we are. All right, that's it. I could outline his head in this green. I'm not sure that's a good idea. See, the problem with the Poscas is it picks up on the other colors, but anyway. All right. What's green here? Okay. I could keep going, but I just need to stop. This is practice. So that's it for another episode of Coloring Passports. The Roseate Spoonbill is complete. I am super excited with how it turned out. I like the colors. I like the background. The background could have been a little more zhuzhy. I could go in with my watercolor pencil, my watercolors, and just like make some little in the backgrounds. Maybe I'll do that. Like I said, I always reserve the right to go back in and do something to the background that I want to do that maybe wasn't in the original, because I have to look at these for the rest of my life and I want them to be perfect in my own eyes. So I also maybe could go back over all the line sketches and, you know, line art them a little more. I don't know. We'll see. I might do that. I don't know. But for right now, until next time, this has been another episode of the Coloring Passports. I'm Rio, and I'll see you on the next page.